So, can we take the apologies for absence and read from the previous one?
No.
Or do we need to go through them again? We take out
The meeting.
No, go through them again.
Go through again.
We go through them again, so we have apologies from Councillor White, Councillor Davies, Councillor Collins, and Councillor. Okay, are we happy to receive these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose you received them Thursday, couldn't make the previous meeting either, but we looked at the fact that they couldn't make this meeting as well.
Okay, and does anybody have any declarations of interest for this item?
No.
Yeah, Councillor Sanchez.
Just the normal one, I'd say I sit on a planning committee in another authority, where I engage would be up to me.
Okay, thank you.
So as a ward council, I sit on the same committee.
Okay, we have noted this. Thank you. So the substantive point today is a major planning application, and it is rather that Councillor Cole is here and he's asked to lead on this particular point. Well, I will of course chair the meeting, but
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. This application before us, most of us have already had sight of it when the developers came to talk to us in November. They have altered it slightly. This is land south of Whitehaven on the A413 London Road. Yet again, we're being called on to defend Buckingham's neighbourhood plan. The local plan made in 2015 after a referendum of residents to determine what development they want and where they want it. Tonight is a speculative application. It's for 300 houses now on the A413 on land which is reserved for employment, not only in our neighbourhood plan as Site Q, but also reinforced by the inspector in the new Vale of Aylesbury plan as BUC 050. Both plans set out the current planning policies for Buckingham. Despite this, the developer's gone to great lengths to suggest that this site is no longer relevant to either and has attracted no interest. And this is where the application must fail. It states there's been no call for employment or industrial use on this 10-hectare, 25-acre greenfield site. And this overlooks two facts. First, there's no evidence this site has been advertised since the BNP was made in 2015. Developers offering the bait of a 1.7-hectare employment area close to the boundary of YPAC. Having told us exhaustively in his statements there's been no interest on this land for employment, why would we suppose this would ever be taken up? Secondly, the current BNP and the new VALC both have 8 or more years to run, which underlines the advanced thinking of both when zoning this land to meet a rapidly increasing population, which is now closer to 16,000 residents than the 12,000 of the 2011 census. This site will also be reconfirmed for employment in the revised Buckingham neighbourhood plan, which we're currently in the process of updating. The developer goes on to state, Buckingham has an unmet housing need. This is quite incorrect. Buckingham has already fulfilled its housing supply during the lifetime of the new bulk, which runs till 2033, as was recently confirmed by the local planning authority, Buckinghamshire Council. Railway developments might wish to note there are 550 new dwellings at Osier Way and Morton Road Phase 3, which have been approved, and that 398 dwellings at St Mumbold's Fields are currently under construction. This is all since 2015. On these grounds, Buckingham Town Council has to oppose this application as being against the policies of the Buckingham Neighbourhood Plan, a plan which was upheld by the Secretary of State in 2017 when he refused development, which was contrary to it. In addition, as you'll see from Catherine's comprehensive report, which she supplied in the agenda, the design and access statement throws up many concerns. There'll be access issues should residential and industrial traffic have to use the same entrance, particularly dangerous for children. A third controlled pedestrian crossing in a 300-metre stretch of road would cause traffic congestion. And there are no community facilities other than 3 uncovered play areas. Of course, it never rains here. It contains areas regarding petrol stations, restaurants, shops, and bus services, and it confuses schools with university sites. There are also SUDS issues. These are all things that would need to be considered, although one of the few positives is that after consulting with Buckingham Town Council in November, the developer has increased the affordable housing content to 35%. But the bottom line is we must oppose this to defend the policies of both the Buckingham Neighbourhood Plan and the Vale of Elsie Plan. The latter has been in existence for only 18 months and it'd be rendered pointless if this development was approved. So I call on both this council and our 6 Buckinghamshire ward councils to request that this be called in to the appropriate committee for determination. I'll leave the final word with the applicant, which in its planning statement summary states at 8.2, quote, in determining planning applications, there is a presumption in favour of the policies of the development plans, unless material considerations indicate otherwise. The policies in this case must be favoured, and I propose that we object to this plan.
Yeah, thank you. So, Councillor Try.
Thank you very much. May I commend both Sheena and Catherine for doing such a wonderful job, as always. Well done for getting your name on it as well, then. No, without these reports that come in at various times, it will make our life a whole lot harder. And can't really say enough as to how good these reports are to summarise things for us councillors. So thank you very much. But just supporting Councillor Cole, absolutely. Just because you can build it doesn't mean you should build it. And it's definitely the wrong place. So it's a no from me.
Thank you. Councillor Hetherington.
Thank you. I read the community consultation feedback summary, and I'm particularly interested in the section on infrastructure, where they say residents felt that the existing facilities and services, such as dentists, GP surgeries and schools, were at capacity and may not be able to accommodate additional residents. One respondent suggested that infrastructure should be delivered first prior to further housing. Well, they haven't said anything about how they're overcoming all of these problems. I'm absolutely no expert on all the ins and outs. There are many others who are expert at that. But I'm an expert at knowing where I have to go for my primary health care for the sworn practice. And we all know that it's absolutely creaking. But unfortunately, all developers have to do is build dormitory sites. They have no responsibility for anything else. And it's just not good enough. I hear people, residents of this area, and it's not just Buckingham I'm talking about with the swan practice. Their catchment area is big. It takes in many of the outlying villages, and people are just at their wits' end about the surgery. We've had the prospect of a health centre dangled before us for very many years, and it's not happened. We're soon going to be in an absolute crisis. Unfortunately, there is no method of linking up housing with infrastructure like this. Builders can just build, but it's just absolutely not good enough that there is no link with NHS commissioning. I don't know how we can sort that out, but I would certainly oppose this development strenuously.
Thank you. Councillor Harvey.
I won't repeat any of the erudite and passionate comments made by colleagues around the table so far. I think all of us are fairly persuaded that this is a ridiculous punt to try and get some more housing squeezed into an ever decreasing bite size that is Buckingham. And one of the problems that we face with the way in which planning is being currently done and development done in this country is it does favour the developer, and over and above the actual provision of adequate infrastructure resources, including the NHS, but also social care and also education, and roads, of course, as well. So if it's not already been done, I'm happy to the second Councillor Cole's proposal that we reject this outright. And although whilst we're very happy that they managed to get a message about affordable housing, we're not happy with the rest of it. And it's time to go.
I'm not going to speak on the application because it may come up for training. What I can say is, if I listen carefully to what everyone said, I have already, as per the council, asked to be voted on the application. I'm unclear whether this application will go to, if it goes forward, with which committee it will go to, and I don't want to prejudice my position to speak on it if it was to go to a committee in which I need to stay, whatever. Only to say that I've listened carefully to what was said, and I will, in my conversations and actions I take thereafter, recognise what is said in the meeting tonight.
Councillor O'Donoghue.
Thank you. It was just reiterating a comment that I made when we had the potential developers come for the White Farm opposite Linden Village, that they want to build houses there. And we'd had on our agenda, not for our discussion, but the Sold and Chase application, that houses for houses, quantity wise, we would be getting close to what Sold and Chase is developing. They're going to be getting a new school and new community infrastructure, and where we haven't got anything like that. And it's not only the GP service. I've got to wait till May for a dentist appointment, and I think that's unacceptable, and we're not even appropriate.
Thank you. Councillor Mordew.
I don't know whether you're aware, but in Winslow there's a similar case going on between developers and land that was allocated for industrial purposes and housing. And the whole issue revolves around the housing allocation throughout Buckinghamshire. And I think the comment read out, I would assume they mean Buckinghamshire rather than Buckingham. Some people who don't understand the area get totally confused. I won't go over everything that's been said already, but one thing that does concern me is the access road. I don't know why the access does not come out at the roundabout. It seems totally intolerable. You've got a roundabout, it's only a few hundred yards away. Failing that, you can make any traffic turning out of that estate turn left only. And let's say the complication of people turning right to go down to Aylesbury. I don't think there's enough thought being put into it. Although it is only outline permission, we should register the problems that we foresee at this stage.
Thank you. Any other?
Just a quick one. Can we reiterate also to our local shire councillors that they don't propose this application like Buckingham did for Osier Way, because that isn't acting in the best interest of the people of this area, that they proposed Osier Way, and we need to make sure that they're all working on our behalf.
I don't think we can force them on it.
Can I just say, we cannot make any comment on that because we would be pre-deciding what is going in. So we just have to remain neutral. But that doesn't mean to say our thoughts aren't somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Where are yours? If you don't mind,
Something on the spot.
if you don't mind, if you can find out, have a quick back to me.
And on this note, are we ready to go on to a vote on this one? Yes. So we have the proposal to reject this outline application.
Propose it.
Proposed by Councillor Cole and seconded by Councillor Harvey.
Okay.
So we don't need a recorded vote on this one.
No, not if somebody asks for it.
We're abstaining.
Okay, yes. So those in favour of the proposal to reject this application. Okay, so that's 9 against.
Who abstain?
Who abstained?
To abstain.
Deputy Mayor, just semantics, we are opposing it, not rejecting it. It's not within our power
Yes,
to reject it.
yes,
We're
you are.
opposing it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. No words are so we are opposing the proposal. And we have just agreed to oppose the proposal. This is getting quite complicated.
Yeah.
We're doing well, don't worry.
Okay, I still don't have any chairs announcements. And the dates of the next meetings are still, as I read them out before, but it's interim council Monday, the 27th of February, and full council Monday, the 30th of March. And we have done this just within, well, just absolutely.